welcome to my channel. My name's Katie and I'm on a health journey. I was diagnosed with diabetes in 2020 and I've since lost 50 pounds, lowered my A1C a few points, and have lowered my blood pressure. I'm much more active than I used to be, and just really feeling optimistic and just so much better about my health and my body. Now, there's been a few things that I have incorporated to start to make some progress, and it's taken me a lot of trial and error. But it definitely is a body, mind, spirit process. The body part of that process for me has had a lot of trial and error. And I did try low carb and I did try keto, and I've had a couple doctors that were supporting me along the way. And currently where I've landed is that a low fat, plant-based diet is what I'm seeing the most progress on. Now, the blood sugar doesn't show an immediate reduction when you're eating the higher carb, lower fat diet. However, because I have really supportive doctor right now, and she is a plant-based doctor, what we check is my insulin levels. And the insulin level has been the key. When I'm eating a lot of fat in my diet, my insulin level is higher. Now, this is, if you're not aware, like what diabetes is insulin resistance. Our cells are receiving the insulin. The insulin is what takes the sugar into our cell so we can use it for energy. So sugar, glucose, meaning the carbs that we eat in any form are going to break down into sugars, and we actually need that glucose for fuel. And when we are diabetic or insulin resistant, the insulin, which does get released, now I'm talking about type 2 diabetes, the insulin which gets released from the pancreas when it senses the sugars that we eat from carbohydrates, when it senses the sugars in the blood, it releases insulin. Now, the insulin is then supposed to kind of usher the sugar into the cell. Now, what they have found out, and it was theoretical until I have been testing it on my own with my own body, is that the fat that we eat that gets broken down into fatty acids, the fat competes with the insulin in the receptor sites in the cell. So the fatty acids come along, they take the place of where the insulin should come in, and when the insulin starts to come around to bring that sugar in, it's not able to get through. So the insulin continues to circulate in the blood, and you can measure that insulin with a blood test. And normal, I believe, is about 12, the range of 12 and under, from what I understand. And when I was on the keto diet, my insulin level was about an 88 the last time when I was checked at that time. And at that time I had a keto-based doctor, and he didn't seem to think that was significant. Well, later on when I moved into a low-fat plant-based diet and was very strict with it for a few months, maybe like 5 months, I had gone down to 17. My insulin level had gone down to 17, almost teetering on normal. But the tricky, confusing thing was that at that time my blood sugar was high and the insulin was low, getting lower and lower. Now, so I got nervous that my blood sugar was high, and I eventually decided on my own without my doctor that I was going to go back to eating more fat and protein. And I did, and my blood sugars came down. But by the time, which it was probably about 6 to 8 weeks, by the time I got back to my doctor to test, my insulin had gone from 17 to 44 in just about a month and a half to 2 months. That was very telling. So at that time, I made a decision, and I actually went on a medication called Jardiance, which took my blood sugar down significantly. And it's been a really great support for me at this time while I'm coming, down, bringing all my numbers down through my diet and lifestyle. So I'm back down to 26 with my blood sugar and with my insulin. I'm sorry. My insulin's down from 44 to 26 in the past few months. And I've been losing weight slowly but surely. I've lost 50 pounds. And it took time to lose weight. But when I feel like I lost the most weight when I was the most strict with the low fat. And so I've been pretty committed to it at this time. And I eat delicious foods, which I love to share some of the recipes and just easy things that I eat. Like today, obviously it's not a recipe. I'm just eating watermelon. Now, if I test my blood sugar later, it might be a little bit high, but I'm not as concerned with that because I know if I stay on this path, eventually when I lose enough weight and my the fatty acids start to clear up out of my body, I will get back to an insulin sensitive state, which means now my cells are now accepting the insulin. And, hopefully I can wean off the medication. But right now I'm really appreciative that I have the medication. So, excuse me. So anyway, I'm making this YouTube channel. I hope to connect with others like me who are on this health journey, whether you just want to lose some weight or whether you have some health goals. I focus on body and movement. I have an active career. I'm a massage therapist, so I'm always on my feet and working, kind of working up a sweat. On my days off, I like to jump on my trampoline. I like to take walks and just stay active. I like to stretch my body. I like to meditate and do breathing. If I, try to notice my breathing, because I know sometimes I hold my breath. So I feel like it's really important to constantly allow the deeper breath. And and just try to be a happy person, because that's a really big part of it too. Work on my relationships and, find joy in every day. So I just turned 50 a few weeks ago, and, I actually feel really optimistic about my life, about my future. And I think that's really important during these times because, it's been hard. And to try to keep your spirit and your heart in a good place, I found it took more work than it had in the past since 2020. So, anything I can offer by making these videos, I would love to have you guys here on the journey with me. Please subscribe and, hit the like button. And I look forward to making more videos for you guys.